Todd and Julie Chrisley famously saw an early release from prison thanks to a presidential pardon. Since then, however, they've been sharing what their time was like behind bars with various outlets. In a recent share, the Chrisley Knows Best stars have made surprising claims about what it was like adjusting to the outside world since their release. Todd and Julie Chrisley recently talked about their current situation during their podcast. Todd and Julie Chrisley became known to fans through the USA Network series, Chrisley Knows Best. In 2022, however, the two were convicted of various charges, including tax evasion and bank fraud. This led to the couple getting sentenced to a combined 19 years behind bars. Back in May, however, the couple saw an early release thanks to a presidential pardon from President Donald Trump. Following their release, Todd and Julie have been sharing their story with various outlets. Recently, Todd and Julie talked about their release on their podcast series, Chrisley Confessions 2.0. During the conversation, they shared that they've actually had some difficulties adjusting to life in the outside world, despite their early release. Julie noted that she spoke with other women in her position. She shared, "I've actually talked to a few of the women that I was in prison with that are already home. And we all have this general consensus that it's kind of weird to even say it." Todd reassured her, "No, it's not weird. Life is rougher than prison life. I mean, that's a sad thing to say because it is so horrific, the conditions that you're there for, but that's from a physical standpoint, but from an emotional and psychological standpoint, it is harder dealing with day to day." The Chrisley Knows Best stars shared that the pardon still helped make their transition easier. Julie then highlighted how inmates have a lack of control in their lives during their time in prison. She shared, "There's very little you can do because you're in prison. And people told me this when I first got there, you can't live out there and in here at the same time because it'll literally run you crazy. And the longer you're there, the more removed you become to the world." The Chrisley Knows Best matriarch continued, noting that inmates eventually get accustomed to their new lives. She added, "The longer that people are away from their kids, as crazy as it sounds, because it's a double-edged sword, the easier it becomes because you get into your own routine." That said, the couple shared that they were grateful to get a pardon. Todd even noted how it made the transition easier than if they just finished their set time. He explained, "We didn't have to go to a halfway house. So, we don't have to answer to a probation officer. We're not limited as to where we can go and how we can move. So, I think we were thrown right back into the real world."